Let's get started. So today topic is abandoned cart sequence, email plus SMS. As usual, for all the webinars that we're running here at Panoramata, no BS. The goal is going to be here to provide you with some inspiration, with the best examples that we've seen lately as well, with some tools also to help you really create, refine, and improve your own abandoned cart email plus SMS sequence. So let's get started. Of course, it doesn't matter if you're in an established market or in a very specific niche. It doesn't matter if you're a complete beginner in marketing. It doesn't matter either if you have a small budget. The only two things that you need today to assist and take really advantage of this webinar is to have a full hour ahead of you and, of course, an email provider. The rest, we're going to check it together. All right, so a little introduction here. It matters having a great lost checkout sequence because the people who are leaving your website without buying, even if they added something to their cart, they left for a specific reason, and you need to understand how and why on top of getting them back on your website. This is also a pretty common low-hanging fruit. If you want to drive more revenue on your website, you have people that are there, understanding what you're selling, adding them to your cart, and then leaving just before purchase. Those are people who are really close to convert, and you should work to make sure that you can indeed convert them. Also, last thing, there's actually a clear process that exists to make sure that you can create the perfect flow for you. You don't have to just check what the competitors are doing and then blindly copy what they're doing. It's not going to work. It's never going to work either. But use this competitive intelligence and what your competitors are doing to, one, get some inspiration for you, and at the same time, give you the tools to improve your own as well. So the goal today is going to help you create the perfect last checkout flow for your specific use case without relying on luck. As I've said, it's not enough to just blindly copy a competitor. In most cases, it doesn't work because you don't know what they're testing right now. You don't know what they're coming from. You don't understand really what they're doing, something specific, but it's a great source of inspiration. And looking at the right source of inspiration, collecting the right data for you, and we're going to cover this during this webinar as well, and having the right processes in place, you can really create a perfect checkout flow and make sure to drive more revenue to your store. Looking at your competition can help, but it's not a one-off project. It's not something that you're going to do one day and then never look again at your checkout flow. It's really one of these flows that actually hundreds, thousands of people will receive this flow over time. So you want to make sure that you're tracking what's happening on your website, tracking what's happening also in the emails that you're sending, tracking the performances of this flow so you can improve it slowly over time, and making sure that you can up your conversion rate for this specific flow from, I don't know, I've seen stores starting at 0.5% to 1%, doubling it to 2%, 3%, 10%. 10% is actually pretty much a good score, but there's really something to put in place to reach scores like this. You will never be able to create out of nowhere the perfect flow that will convert back 10% of your audience. You really need to put a process in place to improve it over time and make sure that you can get there so you can get the best results. There are a few places where competitive intelligence can help specifically for this use case. The first one is because obviously you can analyze their flow. It's not enough. You could go on every one of your competitors' website, do a last checkout, and see all the emails that they're sending. It's going to be super hard for you to actually make sense of the data that you're collecting, to make sense of all the emails that you're receiving in your inbox, and try to understand which email is a newsletter, which email is a last checkout flow, which email is part of their welcome flow. So it's actually quite hard to do, but there are ways to do this, and I'm going to share that with you after. Competitive intelligence is also helpful because it can show you how their flow has changed over time. And at the same time, if you're doing this correctly, then you can actually get access to 100, 1,000 different checkout flows right away, ones with discounts, ones with the free shipping, ones that are highlighting a specific proposition value, and then it will give you the right inspiration for your use case right away. That being said, let's go. This is what we're going to do together today. Look at what your competitors are doing, look at the best companies in your industry, making sure, of course, that you're collecting the right data, analyzing your own data and leveraging your strength in your lost checkout flow, and then putting everything together so you can create yours. The first and the most important thing here is one word, and this is data. The very first thing that you want to set up correctly if you want to make this work for you is to collect the right events. Of course, you want to actually make sure that you're tracking people when they do start their cart. You want to track people when they do start the checkout, when do they stop the checkout, and at the same time collecting data about your visitors as well. If you do this correctly, then you've done 50% of the whole work, and we'll see how we can leverage these data points as well together. As I've said, collecting the right data is key. You need to make sure that you have the right triggers in place, that they trigger almost instantly, so you can act on them right away. We're going to check this together, but the first email is often the one that actually receives the most feedbacks and have the best score. So this is really important to be timely in this sequence. And also, you want to make sure that you're collecting at least some data on your visitors as well. Which pages did they visit? Which product did they add on their website? At which step of the checkout did they stop? So you can actually use this data specifically in your email sequence as well. And this is what makes the difference between a sequence that just converts at 1% and a sequence that actually converts at 10%. It's because you're able to speak to your audience at the right time, for the right reason, and actually convincing them to finally purchase your product using the right arguments. And you can do this with only one thing, and this is data. So just to give you a quick context here, why does this happen? It's super frustrating when you see people that are actually browsing your website, adding stuff to their cart, and just leaving without paying. There's a lot of reasons, of course. Those are the main reasons that we've identified, and maybe 90% of the lost checkouts, they happen because of these specific reasons. It could be unexpected cost. Usually this is a shipping cost that they did not expect when they were actually adding items to their cart. It could be related to the checkout. Maybe your website is not mobile optimized, or maybe it's a complicated checkout process where they do need, for instance, to create an account. It might be because of security or trust concern. It could be because of limited payment options. It could be because they're just comparing several options for now. It could be also related to shipping, whether the return policy is not clear and or they have unexpected delivery time and you're not clear enough on your website on when would they be able to receive the product that they're buying. Saying that here, the main common and the ones that you can actually act on the right away are limited payment option. This one is a classic one. For instance, if you don't offer PayPal as a payment method on your website, there's a way to understand if that's an issue for your audience or not. And that's something that you can add. Again, this one is a pretty popular one. A recent study showed that almost 40% of the lost checkout, they actually happen because of shipping policies. It's because people even don't know if they will be able to return the product, and or because they don't know how much time will the shipping take as well, and or of course the shipping cost. So those are the main reasons you should consider when you're either creating and or improving your lost checkout sequence, because those are what you're battling against. This is really what you need to have in mind, and this is the kind of arguments that you'll need to create and address in your email sequence. If it makes sense so far, no further ado, let's go on the very first email, to debrief the very first email, and this is common to a lot of best performing companies. I have a few examples here. I'm going to show you a few other examples after. The first email that you should send is really a few minutes, at least maximum 2 hours after your audience has actually left your website. And this is an email to offer help. It could be either a marketing email, the two examples that I have after are marketing emails, or it could be also just a plain text email offering help and trying to understand why did they leave. Again, to get back here, if they left because of limited payment option, or if they're not really sure when they will receive their package, you want to know and you want to address this. So the first email is usually a super simple one, just saying, hey, nice to meet you. I've seen you started shopping. Let me know if you need anything. We're here to help you. If you want to get back on your order, you can do so here. But your main goal with this very first email is really to offer help and gather feedback to understand why are people leaving your website. I'm not saying that randomly. I'm also saying that because in all the years of the agency and working with a lot of brands and a lot of different agencies, this is a kind of email that can really help you improve the score, the conversion rate of this email sequence, but also the conversion rate of your own store as well. Because if you notice that you have 5, 10, 20, a lot of different people just answering to this email and telling you, I want to pay with PayPal, or, well, actually, I don't know if I'm going to receive my package in 5 days or in 15 days, then you know that you're not clear enough on your product page, on your landing page, on your website overall about this, and or maybe you need to add PayPal as a payment method as well. So this email is key because it will help you understand what you need to improve on your website, and it offers directly a support line to your audience and to your potential customers as well. So if they do need anything, and those are the kind of people that you want to be able to offer help to right away, well, you're here to do so. For instance, those are two amazing brands. The first one is a bag brand. The second one is frames brand, Warby Parker. And those two emails are doing exactly the same thing. If you've got question about anything, we've got answers. Just reply to these emails or visit the support. Again, let us know if you have any question. We're ready wherever you are. Really, the first email, and those two are sent 30 minutes and 1 hour after the last checkout. Those two emails are really here for a specific reason, and you should 100% do the same. Offer a direct line of support to your audience to help them convert, and at the same time for you, help yourself improve the conversion rate on your website, trying to understand why are people leaving without purchasing. Then after this first email, the second one is a bit more classic. This is the usual lost checkout email that you receive almost every time. The goal here is really to show how cool you are, and usually it happens between 18 and 24 hours after the last checkout takes place. It's the usual, hey, we've seen you forgetting something. Here are the items that you've added to your cart so far. You can still buy them. There are a few rules to make sure that these emails are working correctly. The first one, if you can, is to add a few urgency. We're going to check this again together. But usually what best practice is, for instance, to say, hey, we've secured this item for you at the moment, but it can be out of stock pretty soon, or it already have been out of stock several times this year. So make sure that you can purchase it right now if you really want it. My main advice here is still to avoid sharing a discount right away. This could still be a sale that you could make without giving away a discount. But the main thing here is really to address all the issues that people might had before. So shipping delays, if the shipping free, mention it again, a clear and actionable CTA, show the products again, and of course, lack of stress or comparison shopping. Just make sure that people understand right away who you are, what you're doing best, and why they should absolutely buy from you. Those two are doing this correctly. This one is building a bit of urgency as well. We have more examples that I'm going to share at the end of the webinar. Plus, if you're watching the replay, I'm going to put a list with a lot of examples available in the description of the video. For those of you who are watching this live, then I'm going to reach out by email just right after. So those two are the most, I'm going to say it this way, common last checkout email that you can receive. No discount. Just make sure that you show to your audience how cool you are, reassure them, and make sure to clearly state the shipping delays you have in place, or at least address the main issues your audience might have. Then again, 24 or 48 hours after, now is the good time to actually send a promotional offer if you have one. If you usually price the shipping, you don't have to discount your product right away. You can just offer a free shipping promotion that would work most of the cases without breaking your product pricing. If you don't price the shipping and or the cart itself has already free shipping, then, and in that condition only, you can offer actually a 10 or 15% discount. Again, this is why it's important to gather data about what's happening on your website, because here you basically have you have actually a condition to set in place. If the cart that has been lost is less than, I don't know, let's say that you offer free shipping starting $70. If the cart is less than $70, then you can offer free shipping to this specific cart. And if the cart is more than $70, then maybe you can offer a 10 or 15% discount to those specific people as well. Again, you can add an extra layer if you do own this data as well. If you know that the client who is actually not purchasing right now from you is a first-time client, then you can up the discount, because that would be a first-time customer, and this is much more valuable. So you can go up to, for instance, 20% if you want to do so. And at the same time, if it's a repeat customer, and so someone who already bought from your store already, then you can offer maybe just a 10% discount, and then you make sure that you can really level up the right level of discount for each member of your audience and find the right arguments to convince them. There's a cool advice here that I had as well, and that looks pretty good. Make your discount code look like a generated one. Don't call your discount last checkout 10 for 10% and last checkout 20 for 20%, but give them just a random series of letters and numbers, even if it's not true, and even if it's the same one for everyone. Just use this so people will feel like this is a unique opportunity that is presented to them, and they'll be much more likely to actually take advantage of it. This is one of the emails that I like here from Flow. They're selling, it's a supplement brand, they're selling electrolytes later. Don't miss out on, again, the proposition value that really explains why you should absolutely buy for them. And then they have a 15% off. They do exactly what I've said you shouldn't do, and I do advise you on not doing this. They use not a random series of letters and numbers here, Flow Love 15, which doesn't feel unique. You should do something that actually feels unique. All right. We still have 10 minutes to go, which is perfect. And then this kind of email, you can repeat them one time, even two times, and that will lead you to 1, 2, 3, 4 emails sequence. There's something that I love to do still related to the emails before we move to the SMS, which is the last reminder. And here, this is where the data on your website also matters. There's something that I like to do here is to go on your Shopify administration dashboard or Google Analytics settings page and have a look at which day your audience is the most likely to buy. Basically, which day of the week are you selling the most? Each store has its own perfect day, whether it's a Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, whatever the day it is, for whatever the reason, actually, just have a look at the data and try to understand, okay, well, actually, people tend to buy more from my store on Wednesday or on Fridays, for instance. Not that somewhere. And then one of the last email that you could send here is to really patch an email to a group of people on that specific days. So let's say that the day you want to send this email is actually on Sunday, because people are mostly buying on your website on Sundays. So what you would do here is take all the people who actually had a lost check, has been receiving the lost checkout sequence for the last week, and then all the people that received this email, the last offers emails before Sunday, then all of them at the same time send them an email on the Sunday, because it's the day that where people are actually most likely to buy from you. And doing this, you also have something kind of unique to this specific email. You know exactly which day it's going to be sent and which day they're the most likely to receive the package as well. So you could really send a fun and short email and set up something such as, oh, is it Monday again? Or have a wonderful Sunday with the name of your brand. Take advantage of the fact that you know the name, and then create some context about that specific day of the week as well. And if you know that your products are actually delivered within 2 days, you could say, hey, you receive your package this Tuesday, 100% guaranteed if you place your order this Sunday. Or again, if the most popular day of your store is on Wednesday, you could do the same here. Create some context about the Wednesday and say, if you want to have our products on time by this weekend, place your order now. And this is a really powerful email. Not a lot of companies are doing this, but it works wonders, and it will definitely 100% add a few points on your conversion rate for your email sequence. That being said, looking at all those main 4 emails, of course, there are variations, and we've spoke about the conditions as well. What I wanted to share as well, because we still have 5 minutes going on right now, is there's a platform that actually exists that can actually help you do this automatically and effortlessly, specifically on the inspiration side and on the tracking side as well. Usually what I'm doing here is showing you a few examples of what the platform can do. You can book a demo by clicking the button up there with me if you'd like to. This platform, as I've said, is called Panoramata. It will help you track your competitors automatically for you, including their email marketing, including their newsletter, including their flows, without you having to do any of the heavy lifting of gathering the data yourself, trying to organizing it, and trying to make sense out of the data you're collecting. The platform will automatically let you know the new campaigns your competitors are launching, the main changes that they're making on their website and on their email marketing strategy. And you can really just take this inspiration and take all these updates to actually nourish your own marketing strategy, improve your own assets, and outperform your competitors, of course. For instance, this is what the dashboard looks like. It's kind of cool because you'll be able to right away see and understand what your competitors have been up to. You can also, of course, get a real understanding of what they've been doing for their emails, for their flows, on their ads as well. And the main thing I wanted to share here, oh, it works, that's wonders. It's the main flows I wanted to highlight as well. So this is what the platform looks like in real. I'm on a demo account right now. Again, if I go here, I'm going to be able to see what the real dashboard looks like, as I've showed you in the screenshot as well. And what's great here is we have several parts on the platform that are specifically dedicated to flows. So the first one is, if you have a specific brand in mind, let's take AG1, for instance. Here you get access to all the flows that we've detected for this specific brand over time, and you can track the changes of their flows at the same time. Here, for instance, you have AG1 lost checkout flow in April 2024, so that's 6 months ago. And you can see that they were sending this email, then 1 day after this one, then this one, 2 days after, 1 day after, and again, 1 day after. You can see that their lost checkout flow is a bit particular because they do something quite specific in their industry, but that's also because they're sending only one product to a lot of different audiences. They're actually highlighting different proposition value in each of the emails that they're sending. Again, here you'll get social proof, as we've said. You'll get a comparison, as we've said as well. And so here you can see as well that they're addressing some of the issues for which most people are actually not converging at the end. So that's basically their whole goal during this whole sequence. And you can see as well that at that time, specifically, they didn't had a big discount ready. Something that they do starting the 1, 2, 3, 4th email is to really highlight an offer where you can receive a real welcome kit with a few freebies inside. Anyway, so that's the last checkout of April 2024. And also wanted to share the changes that they've made. This is our last checkout flow in August 2024, so only 3 months after. And you can see already that even if the first email is pretty much I was going to say pretty much the same. It's not the same at all. You can see that they totally removed the email and actually moved this one pretty much at the first place, but changing a lot of the wording as well. So the most recent one is this one. It goes here, and again, it shows everything that's contained in the package. We're back at the delivery and shipping uncertainty again. And something that they do well that they weren't doing before is actually a way to mix up emails and SMS at the same time. So you will receive this email first, then the day after you will receive this "you forgot something" SMS right after. Then 2 days after the previous SMS, you're going to receive this email, which they had before, and we've seen it together. Again, 2 days after, another time, you'll receive this one. Again, you can see that their goal during the whole flow is to provide different proposition values to the audience, trying to make sure that it will stick at some point and they'll convince you to actually make the purchase. Then another SMS, 100 social proof SMS with a clear review. The first one was, hey, just you forgot something. The second one is really about the social proof. Then another contextualized, it almost looks like a newsletter, but it's really part of their lost checkout flow email, so really about the product itself. Then 2 SMS consecutively, and both of them are actually about what do you really receive in your package, and there's a price incentive as well, telling you, okay, you're going to pay $90 for 1 month of AG1. That's only $3 a day for this and this and this and this and that, plus the money back guarantee. If the social proof that they highlighted until then wasn't enough, they highlight this here, and they're totally right to do so. Then they have another one, and again, an email, and they end up with the strong proposition value, and they end up also at the end with a comparison, a list of the proposition value, and the monetary incentive as well to close their last checkout flow, which is actually a great one. So this is one of the ways Panoramata can actually support your efforts into improving your last checkout flow. It works quite well, and we have at least welcome and last checkout flows for every company that we do track on the platform. More than 20,000 companies, all size, all industries, all countries. Another way where Panoramata can help you, and I'm going to close this webinar and see if there's no further question, is the searches. Panoramata can help you track your competitors, really dig into your competitors' data, as we've just seen with AG1 as well. It can also give you recommendations on how you can do things better for you. And we also offer inspiration features, if I might say, that can help you create better ads, email, SMS, landing pages, and flows at the same time. And this is a wonderful feature if you're looking for ways to improve your own flow. For instance, here I could go on last checkout, look at all the last checkout flows that we've got, more than 1,000 last checkout flows that we've gathered on the platform. They're all great examples that you can check. And then you can go even a bit deeper and say, okay, last checkout flows great, but you know, maybe I'm sending a 10% discount. So I really want to see the last checkout flows with a 10% discount, and you get these here. And again, if specifically you want to do the same, but specifically in the personal care industry, for instance, you can again filter them here. And here you have more than 100 lost checkout flows in the skincare industry, featuring a 10% code at some point. So it's perfect for you if you're looking at some point to get the right inspiration. Well, this is an endless source of the most perfect inspiration that you could ever find. All right, I hope that was helpful. Again, together we've seen the data part, the main reasons why people are leaving their cart on your website, the main steps, the main templates, the main things that you should consider when you're creating your own lost checkout flow, the main things you should implement, the main things that you should say as well, looking at a few examples and showing you as well, if you're still doing this manually, that there are platforms out there like Panoramata that can actually help you do this pretty much automatically and really be part of your process, so you can make sure to improve your lost checkout flow over time and convert as many people as you can from your audience. All right, great. Wonderful. I've seen we've been a bit over time. If there are no questions right now, I'm going to close the chat. Don't hesitate to book a call with me if you'd like. For those who joined the event live, I'm going to send you an email just right after, and I'm going to share a dedicated list with all the best last checkout emails that we've collected over time. There are more than 100 examples that you're going to find on this list. If you're watching the replay, then this list is going to be available whether in the comment or in the description of the video. That being said, thanks again for joining. Thanks for listening. If you need anything, you know I'm here. Thanks, Fabian. Thanks, Bogdan. Speak soon. Take care. And wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.